And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the next episode of the Signposts Live. We're going to be doing a double tarot Zodiac spread today, so I'm looking forward to that. We're going to be looking into the summer momentum of 2024 for both the West and the Eastern world. So after that, we'll be getting into some questions from the audience. If you guys do have any current event questions, because again, this is a current event webcast, so just make sure that your questions are more current event based. And usually, if you want like more of the universal questions, that's where we have our Wednesday webcast, which is Wisdom Transmissions Live. So that's where we handle all the universal questions. But here we're more of a current events webcast. Tomorrow, I will also be hosting the AetherX Healing webcast, and I'll just put the graphic here on the screen. Okay, so tomorrow morning, the AetherX Healing webcast will be on the AetherX YouTube channel, and that is youtube.com/@AetherXStore. Let me see if I can get my text here online. Okay, so that is youtube.com/@AetherXStore. I'll be on the air tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time on my other YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing a giveaway as well too. So there will be a giveaway through AetherX product for a fortunate YouTube viewer. And we're going to be going over some new updates with AetherX. I'm going to be looking into providing some new products to come. I also have the long-term goal of creating a brand new RAYD8 system. That's going to be a few months down the road. But there is a new RAYD8 system, a new RAYD8 app that is going to be coming together. And that is referred to as RAYD8 Focus. So that will take some time to build because it's very, very different from the one that is currently available. It will be a completely separate app, but it works together with that one at the same time. So there'll be a little bit more information on that through the healing webcast tomorrow. Plus, I'll be taking healing requests, distance healing requests on the air. So again, that's youtube.com/@AetherXStore. So feel free to join me tomorrow for that. Again, tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Okay, so let's go ahead now and get into some announcements. Here we go.
Source Energy enhanced products to repair and rejuvenate the body. From the power of light to crystals to bed kits, card decks, and more. View our free samples, tutorials, and testimonials on our website, AetherX.co.
Okay, and some more information regarding AetherX.co with the bed kits, right? We have the Taurus bed kits. They are really just available right now as twin and full sizes. We have sold out our queen sizes. We have sold out our king sizes, and we only have a few left of the twin and the full. So before the end of today, I'm going to be increasing the discount amount to a 40% discount. Okay, so if you want to get a Taurus bed kit, either twin or full, you'll have a 40% discount to which you'll be able to do that. There's no discount codes or anything like that. You just go onto the website. That'll be up later today. So right now it's 9:36 a.m. So I'd say probably before 12 p.m. Pacific today, that will be available. So again, if you have a twin bed, you have a full bed, and you want to work with the Taurus bed kit, then you'll be able to get a 40% discount. Now, more of the good news that, again, I'll be talking about tomorrow is I'm going to be creating the RAYD8 bed kit. Okay, so that's going to be really exciting. So I'm currently talking with a provider, and some people are asking me about that. And so, what kind of bed kit is it going to be? Well, it's going to be cotton. It'll be a cotton bed kit, and it'll have much more of a higher thread count than the Taurus bed kit as well, too. But it's all based on RAYD8 technology. It's an exact duplicate of the RAYD8 premium version in bed form, right? So you're basically looking at the RAYD8 premium version in the form of a bed kit. I'll be talking more about this tomorrow on the AetherX Healing webcast, but I'm looking forward to this. I have a really good provider. They're quite affordable too, which is what I'm looking for, because I look for that because I don't want something super expensive, and in order for me to break even, I have to charge an arm and a leg for it. I want something that's good quality, but still pretty affordable in the long run. So that's exciting. So I'm building that. I'm going to be starting off with kind of a phase 1, which means just the queen and the king sizes will start off at first. And then later on, we're going to move on to the twin and fulls as well, too, for the bed kits, for the RAYD8 bed kits. Second thing also is what's known as the RAYD8 lamps. Okay, so there's going to be RGB lamps that are going to be completely code infused with the RAYD8 technology that can be used as add-ons for the RAYD8 app or the RAYD8 browser app that is available as well too. So there are RGB lamps that will sit there, and they'll have an adhesive on it, and the adhesive will have the body symbols, and they'll also be using the RGB, or again, color frequencies through the lamps. So that's going to be really exciting to create too. So that's in the works. So RAYD8 lamps and RAYD8 bed kits are in the works. Really exciting. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on with our announcements.
Private one-to-one sessions have returned with Brad Johnson and Adronis, with appointment times from 30, 45, and 60 minutes online. Offline sessions, including the 3 questions by email and distance healing, are now available. Book your session now through our website, wisdomtransmissions.com.
Get readings with Breanne and be astonished at the depth and accuracy she provides for you through her tarot readings. Breanne can create crystal grids for distance healing, plus offer Reiki and Kundalini attunements. She is also a certified Flying Star Feng Shui consultant. Visit Breanne's website and book your session today at readingswithbreanne.com.
And of course, Breanne is doing a wonderful job with her YouTube channel. If you want to go to her YouTube channel, just go into the YouTube search bar, type in Readings with Breanne. And she has some very interesting videos that she's creating as well, too. She's looking into a lot of popular current events. She's looking into a lot of popular people, and she's giving readings, and her readings are really accurate. So check that out. Again, you can check out her website, readingswithbreanne.com. She does incredible tarot readings. She does crystal grid healing as well too. She does Reiki, and she also works with Kundalini healing. And she's also a certified Flying Star Feng Shui consultant, so she can help you with Feng Shui as well. So check out her website, readingswithbreanne.com. And the final announcement again is with the full body and source healing session. So the full body scan and source healing session is now back. I mentioned this yesterday on the Wisdom Transmissions Live, that if you go to wisdomtransmissions.com, let me go ahead and pull up my little text here so I can show you guys that. Let's see if I have it. Okay, I guess I don't have it written down. That's weird. Okay, why don't I do that now then? Wisdomtransmissions.com. There we go. Okay, so you go to wisdomtransmissions.com, you'll find a brand new session. So it's the full body scan and source healing session. Now, technically, it's not really a brand new session because I've had this session before, but it's been upgraded and it's a lot more advanced. So it used to be called the full body source healing session, but now it's referred to as the full body scan and source healing session. It has 3 plans to it. So all you do is just go to the home page, scroll down a little bit, you'll see it there, the full body scan and source healing sessions. I already have quite a lot of bookings for it. So I'm basically just looking to fill up my July. My July is almost full. Okay. So if you guys really want this quickly, it'd be good to get on it right away, because I'm already getting full. I got like several bookings yesterday and the day before that as well too. So it's booking up real quickly. This is a very powerful scan. This is something that can work with you depending on the plan that you select, from 7 to 30 days. It continues to work with you after that as well too. You get a very detailed report about how your entire body is doing on an energetic level. It's not a medical scan or anything of that nature, but it's an energy scan. It's looking at the integrity of the energy of your organs, of your glands, of your bodily systems, of your chakra systems, of your meridians, of your nadi channels, etc. Okay, so very, very detailed. Check it out, wisdomtransmissions.com. I got some noise in the neighbors here, so let me just go ahead and shut my windows. Okay, neighbors are coming out and making a bunch of noise. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, so that is available, so you can check that out. All right, so let's go ahead and get started into our broadcast today, where we're going to be looking into the summer of 2024 momentum for both the West and the East. So like I said, I do have just one camera, so I'll be pointing the camera down so you guys can see the cards on the deck, cards on the desk, I should say. It's Freudian slips, I tell you. All right. So we're going to go ahead and take a look. I'll move my mouse pad out of the way there so I have more room. So you guys will notice that it's always kind of a challenge for me to kind of shuffle these decks quickly. I have to take a little bit more time. Just a reminder, in case you guys haven't noticed, my thumbs do not bend, right? That's kind of been a disadvantage with me as a card shuffler. I've had that since birth. My thumbs have never been able to bend, right? So in case you guys are wondering, that's why. That's why it takes a little bit more time for me to shuffle the deck. But I get there. I hope you guys aren't too much in a hurry. If you're watching this on a recording, well, then you have nothing to complain about. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started with the first question of what will the momentum of the summer of 2024 be like for the Western world? Okay, so we're looking at basically North America, South America, and seeing exactly what comes up through the tarot. Okay, what is the momentum ahead? What are we looking forward to? What is looking to happen within the Western world here for the summer? And the summer being that of July, August, and even into September as well. Okay, so let's see what we get. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, starting off with air. Ooh, that's a bit of a challenging card right there. That's Aries right off the bat. Okay, let's go into the second card here. Second card representing that of Taurus. I'll move it up out here. Third card being that of Gemini, third house. Okay, fourth house being that of Cancer. Fifth house, Leo. Sixth house, Virgo. Seventh house, Libra. Eighth house, Scorpio. Ninth house, Sagittarius. 10th house, Capricorn. 11th house, Aquarius. 12th house, Pisces. I'm going to make a little bit of room here in the middle. The 13th card, how we are reacting to the situation. Okay, so here we go. All right, so I might just move my camera down a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. Try going this way. There we go. Okay, that should be fine. All right, so let's take a look at this Zodiac spread for the Western world for the summer momentum ahead. Again, this is for July, August, and September. So the first card we have here in the first house represents that of Aries. So we're trudging in the mud. We're trudging in the mud. We've been going through, you basically could say, we've been going through hell. We've been carrying so much excess weight on our shoulders. But what I'm getting here is that very soon that is going to be coming to an end. There's going to be some really big momentous changes taking place here over the next couple of months, where if we're just looking at a very bleak picture, we're actually going to see the light at the end of the tunnel, right? I don't think it's going to be an immediate change, but it is a transitional change that's taking place, right? So the wait time is basically going to be coming to an end. And there has been a long wait time when it comes to us trudging in the mud, taking on all of this excess weight, feeling again that we've just been under the mercy of these psychopathic criminals that have been trying to run things. Like I said, that's how it looks in front of the scenes. But it looks like this trudging is going to be paying off, right? All the hardships that we have been going through as a collective, again, I'm talking about the Western world here, all the hardships that we've been going through as a collective are going to start lightening the load. Okay, but there's still going to be some more, challenges ahead. Okay, but this is just giving me the idea that the first house aspecting together with the seventh house, because the Hanged Man basically says, you know, there's a weight to it, but it's worth the weight, right? This is the enlightenment, the enlightened man hanging upside down, saying there's a bit of a weight. It's going to carry on a little bit more, but it's going to be worth the weight. The weight is going to be exceptional, because what is going to be born out of this very intense excess weight that we've been carrying is, well, it's really no more different than looking at a pregnant woman, right? Pregnant woman, she's just constantly gaining the weight from the pregnancy. She has this big, beautiful baby in her belly, and she's getting ready to deliver, right? And it's been extremely difficult for her. She's had nothing but pain. She's had nothing but hardship. She's had nothing but people maybe not being able to support her. But when this new baby comes, it is going to profoundly change her life. Well, it's the same thing that's happening with us. We've been carrying this weight. We've been carrying this big baby in the belly for a very long time, and it's getting closer now for that new consciousness to be born. So let's go over to the second house now. Second house representing that of Taurus. Okay. So again, the momentum ahead, like I said, this does usually relate to finances. This does relate to expenses. This can relate to business as well too. So it looks like that, again, I'm seeing that business is kind of, I wouldn't say it's really at a standstill, but it's kind of in wait. It's lying in wait, because it is going to be taking a new form. And this is exactly what I'm seeing here. As far as businesses are going, they're kind of at a bit of a standstill, but they're kind of moving into a new shifting. You know, again, everything right now is taxation and hyperinflation and everything else. But a lot of it is going to be shifting. A lot of it is going to be changing. So this tells me there's going to be new leadership when it comes to finances. This tells me there's going to be new leadership when it comes to business. This involves new leadership when it comes to handling finances. So again, we could start to see a very powerful change here. Now, some may say, well, Brad, is this relating to the new financial system? I say, well, partially, but I also think it has to do with new management at the same time. So there's a combination with new financial systems coming together, but also a overhaul relating to the management of finances, particularly in the West, right? Again, a lot of people have basically been calling doom and gloom for the Western world pertaining to its financial system. That's just ready to plummet. It's ready to fall apart. I would say it's much more at a standstill. It's kind of at a standstill right now. It's kind of lying in wait for a greater change to come. As it's lying in wait, yes, there's going to be a lot of hardships pertaining to finances, but it's not going to be something that is going to be permanent. It's something that is going to transition. It's something that's going to move forward, right? There's almost kind of like a romantic card with the Knight of Pentacles as well too, right? It's kind of like you can kind of see the sunset behind. He's being patient. He's waiting, right? But then here again, we're aspecting the idea of Scorpio, right? So Scorpio, like I said, often relates to scandals, secrecies, right? A lot of big exposures being revealed. But I also feel like, again, this is kind of like looking at an old flower that is now just starting to open itself up. And now we're actually seeing something really, really beautiful on the inside. So this also associates with quick change. So Scorpio can also represent quick change. So I feel like something is really on the horizon pertaining to the overall Western landscape of the financial institutions of the West. Banks may be, again, going through an incredible overhaul. There's a lot of talk of people saying that in 2025, there may be some banks that are basically just going to lose their power and may overhaul into something else, transform into something else. I don't see the banks plummeting 100% completely, never to be seen again. I see them changing form. I see that everything in regards to how they are run changing. But I feel like that's a lot more 2025-ish than 2024. So it basically tells me that there's kind of a transitional process here relating to the financial end, and also pertaining to scandals and exposures. The scandals and exposures are going to become so much that I just don't think it's going to surprise people anymore. So yeah, I'm really not surprised if this is happening or that's happening. We've just basically been hit with so many truth bombs. I don't think it's really just surprising anymore about looking at all these scandals. So I think you're only going to be able to do scandals for so long before people just say, yeah, we know, we get it. We get how corrupt the government is. We know how corrupt the leadership is. We know how corrupt their deeds are. We get it. Let's take care of it. Let's get them out of here, right? And that's where a revolution comes together. Looking into the third house, representing that of Gemini, which is communication and learning, okay? Again, indicating more and more confusion surrounding what's really going on, okay? So there's going to be a lot more intense events taking place this summer. And I know I don't like to say that, but there's really going to be some earth shifts taking place here in the summertime. So the third house here representing Gemini, right? Gemini wants facts. Gemini wants truth. Gemini wants to communicate properly. And that's where it's blocked, is feeling that it can't get communication. It can't get logical discussion. It can't get the logical clarity it's requiring because there's just so many smear campaigns. And unfortunately, that's what's going to be happening a lot more towards the summer, particularly with the Western world and its political systems, its governmental systems, its financial systems. Everything is just going to be a smokescreen. It's all going to be a big, dense fog. And like I said, if we're continuing to look outside, we're going to be caught in that smokescreen. So there's a lot of people saying, oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, this is going to happen. What about this? No, maybe this is going to happen. Maybe it's going to take care of that. No, it's not going to happen. It's going to happen this way, right? So again, confusion will still run amok throughout the Western civilization. And that this is aspected together with Sagittarius, and it's a balancing act, and that's very, very correct. So Sagittarius can also deal with good fortune. It can also represent foreign travel. It can also represent one's spiritual journey at the same time. But everything is just basically looking to be balanced out right now. And like I said, if we're trying to look to see what the truth is, right, if I'm basically putting it in quotes, the truth is, it's not going to be found externally. There's too many people on the planet right now that are having their own opinions and putting down what they think is actually happening. And then they have people who follow those people. And then those people who follow those people think they know what's happening. And then all of a sudden situations happen that debunk about what a person thinks is happening, and it's not happening that way. And then they try to find somebody else who thinks that they know the answers, who are trying to give an idea about what's actually happening to try and bring clarity to the whole situation. Do you see how it's just a maze? It's people running through a maze, trying to figure out, hey guys, I got the exit, I got the exit. Look at how it's curving over here. It's turning over this way. Okay, great, let's go. And boom, they just collide right into a wall. Well, that's the whole idea of information, because this is the secret war. The secret war is all about disinformation. The secret war is all about misguidance. It's all about such faith in the external, and the external is going to disappoint you every single time. It's an information war. It's a mind war, right? This is why I don't call it a WW3, but I call it the mind war, or the secret war, the shadow war in that sense, because this is something that even goes beyond humanity. This is something that even goes beyond the earth. This is something that's basically being worked through in the subtle planes at the same time. The good news is a lot of it is starting to culminate into much more of a positive side, but we still have the after effects of trying to get an idea about what our direction is. What are we supposed to do, right? Is there leadership here? Why is the government still pushing all these agendas for taxation and hyperinflation and more and more policies that are going against people. What's going on? Because it's trying to show you the big picture. The big picture in that sense is the dissolving of the current face of how the government, of how the politics, of how the finances run. Rather than trying to salvage things that don't work, they need to die. And that's really the big picture here. And that's the balancing act right now that's taking place. Thinking that, again, so many people can salvage the system. Oh, we can salvage the government as it is right now. No, you can't. It needs to die. Okay, well, we can salvage the financial system as it is right now. No, it's based off debt. It's a Babylonian money magic system. It needs to die. Oh, okay. Well, and then we just continue to do that. We try to give these impressions of thinking that we can salvage these things that at their core are rotten and corrupt. You can't. You have to let it die. And that's why people are confused. They're not used to getting a new answer, something that is going to replace the system. They hold on to it. They bear it down for as long as they can. And that's the balancing act that's happening. There is the idea of a good fortune that's trying to come about, but people have to get, again, they have to take their hands off the blood-soaked pillar. It's like I talked about last week when we were asking about that. Is there a WW3, right? And there isn't. But the thing is, people have been so completely hypnotized to completely tie themselves to a blood-soaked pillar and thinking that this blood-soaked pillar is the way of things, and it's not, right? So it's the idea of just trying to let go, right? That the true information is let all of these die and let balancing coming together to help you see the bigger picture so that there can be overhaul, so that there can be new systems that come together that are about fairness, that are about equality, that are about harmony, right? That's really what this is saying to me. Okay, let's go to the fourth house here. Fourth house representing that of Cancer. Okay, so we have the Queen of Swords. So she cuts through BS. That's basically her quality. The Queen of Swords is someone who is not to be trifled with. She is, sometimes she can be seen almost as someone who's like as cold as ice because she looks for facts, right? She's all about cutting through the BS. She's cutting through illusions in that way. Okay, let me move that down a bit more. Okay, so that is the Queen of Swords, and that's the fourth house. That's Cancer, so that represents housing, that represents housing, that represents property, that represents the law of the land, so to speak. So it looks like there's going to be a lot more energy towards people that are demanding new housing, right? The housing market, I think, is going to, in time, go through a much more larger boom period. Right now it's kind of stagnant, but it's being worked on to shift. And this is where we go into the 10th house, which is Capricorn. Capricorn's all about government. It's about status. It's about popularity. It's about, it's almost like a renewal. It's kind of like a stepping up of a ladder, so to speak. So it feels like new government is looking to come in place here. I can't say if there's going to be a new shifting in government, like say for Canada or the United States in the summertime, but I feel like it's moving in that direction. It feels like everything's being prepared for new leadership. Here's the Chariot, right? It's the Chariot. It's not moving yet, but it's getting geared up, right? Just gear yourself up, get yourself ready, right? Get on the Chariot, get yourself suited up, right? Get ready to ride the lions, get ready to ride the sphinxes. Just get yourself prepared, okay? There's going to be some major shakeups relating to property, but I also feel that it represents the nature of the earth as well too here when we're looking at Cancer, okay? Not just the idea of property or household, but I feel like it's also saying get ready for some shakeups, okay? What those shakeups may be will be earth changes, okay? It's very likely that we're going to have quite a few earthquakes here in the summertime. It's very likely that we're going to have some floods or tsunamis here in the summertime. It's very likely that we're going to have some, again, hurricanes, possibly a volcanic eruption at the same time. The possibility for this volcanic eruption could possibly happen either in one of two places, again, maybe closer to the mid-Atlantic or the mid-Pacific, okay? So if I'm going either closer maybe to the area of like Japan, or again, maybe closer to the areas, well, maybe I'd say more closer to Japan. It's only kind of looking more on the Pacific area. So we have to kind of keep our eyes open for that. I'm not sure if it's Mount Fuji or anything of that nature, but it looks like I've been seeing this vision of volcanoes erupting for the past few months. So to me, this kind of feels like there's almost like a bearing down of the land at the same time. It's kind of like the hidden message here, because like I said, Cancer is all about land, right? It's all about property, the home, right? And it feels like there is a shakeup about to happen, okay? So this is something that we need to kind of get prepared for. There have been some astrologists who's also said that there may be a very large California earthquake taking place here in July. Okay? We may look into that later, but the possibility is actually quite high. So the most important thing is that we're just getting ourselves prepared, right? Have a backup plan, okay? Maybe something won't happen as intense as what we're feeling. Maybe it might be something smaller, but nonetheless, you're having a preparation. You have plenty of food, you have plenty of water, you have an escape route, you have an alternative place to stay, okay? And that's basically for people around California. So there could be a very large possibility of an earthquake hitting. The same thing goes for Japan, okay? Japan may again be going through another disaster, another earth disaster that will be coming. I'll actually be talking to a group in Japan here on Friday and bringing Adronis through, and he may elaborate on it a little bit more. But like I said, I don't bring Adronis into the signposts, just do wisdom transmissions. But I'm getting that feeling. So this kind of is telling me that it's almost like a bearing down, get yourself ready, get yourself prepared, right? Cut through the fog of illusion, get yourselves ready, get yourself prepared, and just have a backup plan. Have something that may be ready to go. They're just the idea that there could be some significant earth changes taking place this summer. Maybe it won't be as intense as we think. That would be great. We can certainly cushion the load. We can certainly cushion a lot more. This is where we do guided meditations. This is where we put intentions. This is where we put love on the land. And that certainly helps to cushion the blow. But astrologically, numerologically, even through the tarot as well too, it's telling me you might need to bear down a little bit. Okay, I wouldn't say a little bit, you need to bear down quite a bit, because the Western world is about to be shaken up. And it's going to be shaken up by some earth changes. And these could be earthquakes, these could be volcanoes, these could be tsunamis, these could be floods. Okay, so just take that under consideration. There's no harm in being prepared, to making sure that you have plenty of water, plenty of food, that you have an alternative place to stay. Okay, that's just something to keep in mind. Maybe something may not happen as intense as we think. I'm hoping that's the case, but nonetheless, we need to be prepared. Okay, let's go on to the 5th house, which is Leo. Okay, that's the King of Swords. So new thought, action, new shifts taking place, new counsel. I feel like, again, the preparation for new leadership is underway. There is just kind of an obvious, I'd say it's an obvious change that's going to be taking place here. New leadership, new ideas, new advisement is coming together, but it's a campaign. The knight has not arrived at the destination yet, but he's running, right? His horse is running, he's flying, he's ready to do combat here. Right, so that's kind of the idea of giving me the idea of new leadership that's coming together here, representing Leo, and that definitely represents a trump card, no pun intended. But that again is aspecting together with Aquarius, and Aquarius is all about gains, and it's all about truth finding at the same time. Okay, finding out the truth, right, answering curiosity. So I get a little bit of a glare there. Okay, so again we have the 9 of Pentacles. So with Aquarius, this is telling me that good fortune is coming, that there's a lot of gains coming together, but it needs to still play itself out through the summertime. So summertime is going to have a lot of surprises. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. We're going to have hills and we're going to have valleys, but it's indicating that there's going to be a lot of changes coming afoot. I think that this is the last summer that we're going to see the corrupt try to run things. This will be probably the finale of that. It's like the grand finale of this season of Earth 2024. Could this be the very last season, the very last summer that the corrupt are trying to run things in front of the scenes? And I would probably say yes, it certainly is. Okay. Basically, when we get into 2025, it feels like all they're going to be doing is running. All they're going to be doing is knowing that they're being exposed, and they're going to try to bail. But you can't bail. It's just not possible. It's basically, like I've said currently, that the Counter forces are pretty much running everything right now, right? It's not really a secret anymore because we just see the ridiculousness, the ridiculousness of what is happening in this whole political arena and everything. It's like a friggin' soap opera. It's hilarious of what's going on, the blunders that are taking place. This is like a comedic joke, right? This is not really to be taken seriously pertaining to politics. You might as well be watching a soap opera or a game show. It's ridiculous. Okay, let's move on to the 6th house here, which is Virgo, and again, aspecting with the 12th house. So the 6th house, again, this is telling me people are coming together. People are about to celebrate together. Like I said, there's revolution that's currently taking place right now. And the 6th house is all about service. It's about labor. It's all about, in that sense, kind of getting past your enemies, getting past foes. But again, it also has that strong dedication to helping for people to come together, right? It's the idea of people coming together, working together at the same time, right? There's that united for a common cause type mentality for Virgo. And we're seeing that a lot more through the West, right? People are just agreeing with each other a lot more. But at the same time, there's going to be some heat. There's going to be some intense heat. There's going to be a lot of unsettling unrest in the summertime here. Okay, so I feel like there may be some people that are they're coming together because they are angry. They're coming together because they're very upset. They're fuming. They're infuriated about how everything is run. Okay, and this is going to lead to revolution. That's really what I'm seeing here with Pisces, right? It's leading to such a transformation because it does deal with loss, because people have lost a lot of things. But at the same time, it is going into a powerful revolution, right? And we're seeing the idea of the people prevailing, okay? So there is going to be a very significant change in the Western world here as we get into the end of the summer. And this goes into the 13th card here, union, right? Coming together, working together, harmony, okay? So there's going to be the idea that the people are going to be stronger together than ever. And when people realize, oh my goodness, we are really coming together, we are helping each other out, we are united under a same cause, that is going to bring birth to a brand new world. That's like the pregnancy being done right there, is the idea of union, the idea of togetherness, the idea that strength in numbers is going to make all the difference in the world. Okay, so that is the Western world reading. Now we're going to do another another zodiac spread for the Eastern world. Okay, see how the Eastern world is going. So this will just take a minute. So like I said, things are moving forward in a very good way for the Western world, but there's going to be some, like I said, there's going to be some big shifts in the way. There's going to be some turbulence, right? It's kind of like we're just flying in the air and we're going to hit these really intense pressure pockets and it's going to give us some severe bumps. But along the way, we will reach exactly where we need to go. We are going to reach the destination. So let's go ahead now and move on into the Eastern world to see what the Eastern world is going through. I'm not going to see if I can spend too much time with this because I do want to move on to questions. So I'm going to try and speed through this one a little bit, but still give the good details that need to be brought out. All right. Man, I'm making a mess of my cards here. All right. So we've had quite a powerful reading for the West. Let's see what we have to look forward to for the East. So the momentum ahead for the Eastern world this summer, again, July and August. Let's see what we get. Okay, so first house here representing that of Aries. Ooh, that's not the best one to start off with, but that's what we're getting. Okay. Second house being that of Taurus. Third house being that of Gemini. Fourth house, Cancer. Fifth house, Getting that of Leo. 6th house. Virgo. 7th house. Libra. 8th house. Scorpio. 9th house. Wow. Sagittarius. 10th house. Oh, wow. 10th house there is Capricorn. 11th house, which again is Aquarius. 12th house, Sagittarius, Aquarius. 12th house, Pisces. And then moving on into the 13th card. All right, wow. This is interesting. So let me put the rest of this deck aside. Taking this in for a moment. Okay, so the first house representing that of Aries. Okay, so Aries, like I said, deals with the heart, it deals with the soul, it deals with the full body, deals with kind of the big picture of everything. It can also look into anything aggressive. It can represent egoic nature at the same time. Okay, so this is aspecting together with the 7th house, which is, again, Libra. So to me, it feels like there's been a massive defeat in the Eastern world. And it almost feels like there's a mourning process taking place here. Maybe something in that sense that is happening. Maybe something is happening in the East that basically may cause people to mourn severely. I'm not sure if it's a leader passing away or if there was an assassination or something of that nature. Maybe a country has been going through something tragic. But it feels like there is a tragedy that's going to be happening here in the summertime, here in the Eastern world, right? When we're looking at Europe, when we're looking at Africa, we're looking at Asia, we're looking at Australia, etc. Okay, something here may basically happen in the summertime that is going to cause a lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth. But at the same time, this has led into an incredible shift, right? So like I said, if the devil was up here, it's now starting to move into the opposite way. It's changing momentum around significantly, right? I'm not too sure if we're seeing something kind of something similar to like what we've seen with Russia and Ukraine or Israel or anything of that nature. But it feels like something else is about to happen. This could be the major event that Adronis is talking about in the summertime, okay? It could be the idea of, like I said, maybe someone important passing away, or again, a couple countries engaged in perhaps a type of warfare. Again, I don't see it as a world war, but something in that sense about unrest. And it's almost like a mourning period. Something devastating is going to hit the Eastern world. We don't have a clear idea of what that may be. All I'm seeing is just people are mourning. I'm going to try and intuit it just for a moment to see what's exactly is happening. I'm seeing people just revolting, people just getting angry. This is almost like a feeling of an injustice. It may be something political. It may be something, again, country raising swords against another country. But it just feels like there is an injustice that's happened. At the same time, it's going to spark a very big turning of the wheel. And this is going to lead to, again, a very powerful revolution taking place in the Eastern world. So this is kind of what I was seeing going back even a couple months ago when I was doing the Infinite Intelligence report, where there was something taking place in the East. And again, it looks like it just looks like there's tension here that's just attempting to be boiled over. But it could be something relating to a war. It could be something relating to a great loss. And it's something that is just boiled over the entire population, right? Not just the Eastern world will be affected, the Western world will be affected by this as well too. Something very, very intense is coming for the Eastern world. And whether that's a war, whether that's a fight, whether that's the loss of something, in a way, it's kind of a blessing in disguise because it's going to turn the wheel. And we need the wheel turned, right? Second house here, again, this is usually representing the dark cult card. This is my dark cult card altogether. And that represents Taurus, right? So that could represent the money supply situation, the business situation here. And that is aspecting together with Scorpio. Scorpio, again, here is showing a surprise. So there's a surprise when it comes perhaps to the idea of the dark cult losing more money, all right? losing more resources, basically saying that, again, maybe this is the final nail in the coffin. And they're actually, it's probably even beyond nails right now. The coffin's actually being lowered into the ground. So to me, this basically looks like more of a further extinguishing of the corrupt's power relating to them having any particular type of financial backing. Feels like there's going to be a war on the corrupt pertaining to the entire financial network, the entire financial system. They want them out of it completely. And I'm sure they're going to try and bide their time by saying we surrender, because that's one of their old strategies. Oh no, please, I don't know if they're going to take any more prisoners this time, right? So to me, it feels like there's a finale pertaining to a financial war that may culminate and lead into something quite better. And that's the surprise that we're seeing here, right? So emotional surprise, emotional, oh, geez, this is happening. I didn't know that was going to happen, right? So it feels like there's something here pertaining to the corrupt, right, who've been controlling a lot of the money supply, now going to be shifting into something even better. So that's going to be interesting. Okay, the third house representing that of Gemini. Okay, so Gemini, again, is about learning, about building, about communication. And then we have the devil here in Sagittarius. Okay, so Sagittarius, again, often represents foreign travel. Like I said, it can represent good fortune as well, too. But like I said, my feeling here is that there's going to be overhaul. I think there is going to be some mass surrendering going in. I think there's going to be more mass arrests going in. I think there's going to be more massive trials coming in together. I think the devil's being put on trial. I think that's really what's happening here. This is leading to, again, a much more severe takedown. Whatever's happening here is kind of like just awakening an incredible power that is just going to take these guys down for good. So that's really, I think, what the Eastern world is juggling through right now through the summer. And like I said, this is between July and September. So I'm feeling that something really, really big is going to cause the complete and total shutdown, the complete and total depletion, the complete and total elimination of the dark cult's hands on the money supply. Okay, because again, I'm feeling that they're just trying to start wars to try and rebuild their economy. And I think that's maybe what's going to happen. There may be some type of false flag attack that's going to happen in the East. Again, just like they did with Russia and Ukraine, like what they're doing with Israel. These are all proxy armies. None of it is legitimate. These are all, again, attempts to thicken their wallets, right? It's all money. It's all greed. That's what powers all of these things. So to me, it feels like something is going to be overhauled, there's action that's going to be taken. There's maybe new systems, new policies in place that's really going to deliver a blow to the devil. The devil is going to be put on trial. That's the feeling I'm getting here. When we get into the fourth house here, which represents Capricorn, like I said, there's the land, right? There's the mother, the land, property in that sense. All right, and that is aspecting together with the 10th house, which is Capricorn. So I would say that a lot of the governments of the East are going to implode, right? So like I said, this is what I've talked about before, pertaining to takeover, pertaining to overhaul. So I've called the year of 2024 the year of overhaul. Well, this is basically what it is. It's like taking a gigantic wrecking ball and just bashing these governments of the East to the ground and putting something new in its place. So as that's aspecting that, it feels like there's going to be significant change. There's a power change taking place here. But in order for that to happen, the wrecking ball needs to come in and take down a lot of these sinister governments, these false agendas contained in other countries' governments, and they're going to be imploding completely. This is big. These are some very, very significant transformations that are taking place. I'm not doing a delicate reading here. This is like, oh, we're responding with force right now. It's kind of like a take no prisoners attitude here. Going into the 5th house, again, representing Leo. So again, new leadership, just very similar to what we've been seeing here in the West. New leadership, strong leadership taking place here. I would say basically it's the extinguishing of royal families. I would say the royal families are pretty much already done. What you're seeing in front of the scenes right now pertaining to royal families and kings and queens and princesses and princes and all that stupid crap are cover jobs, right? They're covers, they're psyops. They're trying to get, oh, it's okay, guys, they're still around. No, those are not. That's not the real royal family. those are stand-ins. Those are doppelgangers, right? So there's actually going to be real leadership that's going to be coming together. So there could be some new winning of elections for those countries that are going through elections here throughout the summertime, leading into new leadership that is going to follow counterforce regime nature altogether. And this is aspecting together with the 11th house, which is Aquarius, which again represents gains, which represents again the idea from what I'm seeing here of this aspecting here between the King of Wands and the High Priestess. So my feeling is secrets about to come out, secrets about to be exposed, perhaps more exposure campaigns that are going to come together, truth bombs, right? Realizing exactly what's been hidden in plain sight and massive exposures. Okay, so to me, it feels like there's going to be a almost kind of like a dark period, but a dark period that is going to reveal a great amount of information. So again, it's kind of like I said, trudging through the tunnel and seeing the light up ahead. But there's a lot more truth that needs to be revealed. To me, this is the idea of the revealing of great truth. So I think we're seeing that, and that represents gains. So more slander, more exposure, more disclosure coming together. When we get into the 6th house here, which is Virgo once again, the whole world is changing. So everything pertaining to revolution is going to be a worldwide phenomenon. It's not just happening in the East or the West. It's going to be happening all over the world. The people are taking their power back. And this is leading into the idea of, like I said, through loss comes great change, great significance. The whole idea of the corrupt running the world is going to be very short-lived. And I do feel like this is almost a calling for that, and saying that at the very end, this is the last summer where we can see the corrupt having the power that they have. They will have tremendously less as we get into the next summer. Then we go into the 13th card, which is how we're responding to the whole idea. Well, there's a lot of fire here. There's a lot of fire. There's a lot of explosions. There's a lot of intensities that are coming together. People are basically buckling down, right? They're kind of in caution mode right now, because there's going to be a lot of explosions happening here in the summertime, particularly in the East. The West certainly will have its shakeups. The East is definitely going through some sort of tragedy that's going to be happening here in the summertime. Whatever that tragedy may be, because I can't really put my finger on it. It is basically the major event that Adronis was talking about. So whatever is happening in the East here in the summertime is the major event that Adronis was talking about. Okay, so that is what I have for the East altogether. So I'm just going to take a moment to clear the cards away, and then we're going to go into Q&A with anybody here that's on the chat. Like I said, if you guys do have priority questions, you can leave a donation. I'll put you in a priority sequence, and we'll take a look at your questions that you have. All right, so that was intense. That's an intense. Those are both two of them, both very, very intense readings. All right, let's go ahead and realign ourselves here. It's telling me that 2024 is really living up to the name I've given it, the year of overhaul. Everything's being overhauled. Everything's getting ready to be overhauled. The wheel needs to turn so that overhaul can continue to happen. And like I said, I think that this will probably significantly happen around the summertime. And here we are. Wow. Intense. Okay, let's go to comments now. So like I said, I'll be starting off with the donation-based comments first, and then going into the other comments on the list. So I do have one here from Ben. Hello, Ben. Ben says, greetings, Brad. Will there be a few skirmishes in Germany, or perhaps civil war-like conditions because of many criminal migrants and cabal pawns? I think you're on the right track, but let's take a look at that and see. So let's take a look at what's happening with Germany, right? Can we expect what's kind of the energy of Germany right now? And I'm going to do a 5-card reading right now with this. Okay. Well, you could say that basically the cabal is still standing in Germany's way from Germany attaining complete and total freedom, because they are going to become, it feels like they're going to become a sovereign nation. Okay. That's kind of the long run. That's kind of like the long term. Okay. Long term, because I'm getting, like, as I'm looking at the cards here, I'm just going to hold them up one at a time here for you. I'm seeing a lot of pentacles and I'm seeing a lot of wands. Okay. So this right now is where Germany is at, right? To me, this still represents that there's kind of a standstill between, the German people and the shackle that we know as their government, okay? They are going through a cleaning of house, okay? The next step here is that I think there may be a rearrangement of their financial system, a rearrangement of value. So to me, it tells me that there's something of a new birth that's coming together through Germany that is going to take down a lot of the corrupt, because the obstacle in the way are the dirty players, right? So this is kind of a combination that it's kind of like justice at the same time, but it's basically cutting the dirty players in half, right? That's basically what's causing it. The strength that Germany has is the people behind them, right? The people will always support the intention for Germany to move forward in a very positive way, clearing away a lot of the corrupt that are there. So there's a lot of resources that are at hand. This is also telling me the idea of the people ready to stand up, right? But the whole idea, I think, that they still have to play a little bit more mind games to try and light a fire under people, okay? This has the potential and the outcome for the German people to take their power back completely, moving into a sovereign nation, okay? The long term would be the idea of that happening, okay? It's going to involve a lot of overhaul. There's that word again, okay? But it's going to involve a lot of overhaul. I'm thinking this could be a few months, even up to about a year down the road for Germany, okay? Because Germany really is the current here that we're looking at. But to me, it looks like they're taking action. They're moving. They're pushing this filth out of their country, because that country has been the country has been stained by the corrupt, by these dirty players for a very, very long time, going back centuries. And they're pushing it all out. It's just like they're pushing the vermin out, right? They're killing the parasites out. But that's really what's kind of at a standstill right now. It's kind of like you have an ogre holding the coin right now, right? And that needs to be completely cleared out. So when you're asking about skirmishes, oh yeah. Civil war, not really. I wouldn't call it a civil war. I'd call it skirmishes for sure. Internal battles, yes. But a civil war, not really. I would say it's much more like civil resistance rather than civil war, okay? But there's a lot of civil resistance happening, right? People just not going with their agendas. Forget it. We're not going to do that, right? Criminal cartels, cabal pawns. Yes, Ben, you are right on the money with that. You're absolutely correct about that. But they need to be pushed out. They need to be pushed out. They're a lot of them kind of are already pushed out, but they're almost like deliberately hanging on at the same time so that people can get this fire lit under them, right? So like I said, this is why I say a lot of it is really counterforce run. We're going to kind of keep some of these filthy players around just to antagonize people a little bit more, to light a fire under their butts so that they can stand up and say, no, we want them out. And we will demand that they are being pushed out. And we're not going to take no for an answer. Well, then that's where this comes in, right? That's where this comes in. And then in the long term, Germany, I feel, is going to be getting its sovereignty back. I feel it may even become a republic nation. Okay, a lot of good things are ahead for Germany, but we got filthy players here that are, again, like I said, just being they're kind of like the script's antagonists, right? And you got script writers doing all that stuff. So, okay, we got to antagonize the people. This is really what it's all waiting for. It's waiting for a lot of the people to stand up and say, no, we've had enough. We're done, right? It's like they're trying to egg on revolution. That's what this is all about. As strange as it sounds, like I said, none of this is real. This is all part of trying to create this coming of age ceremony for the masses to get them to stand up and say, we've had enough. All right. So Ben, I think you're very much on point there with that. All right. Very good. All right. Let's go down to another donation-based question here. Okay. This one here is from Grow. Grow says, can you look at the energy in Norway too? Yeah. Let's take a look at little old Norway, or big old Norway, whichever you want to call it. It can be big, it can be little, it can be any of those things. It could be mid-sized, it could be fun-sized. Fun fact is a lot of my ancestry comes from Norway. A lot of my blood type, a lot of everything that represents my ancestry is Norwegian. So basically I'm kind of looking at my ancestral home pertaining to Norway. So let's take a look at Norway and see what is ahead for Mr. or Mrs. Norway. All right. So kind of around those same lines, just about with the momentum ahead for Norway, what is it going through? Okay. Okay, interesting. Okay. Well, it's kind of like there's ups and downs for Norway, right? There's some good things and there's some things that still need to be worked on, gaining to improvement with Norway. So where is Norway right now? Rebuilding. Okay. Complete and total rebuilding, re-infrastructure. It may represent the idea, like I said, that overhaul is happening in the political, government, financial arenas, educational arenas in that sense. Norway is basically being scrubbed clean, but it's going to still take some time to scrub because there's some really big stains in the way at the same time. Okay. The next step is people coming together, because I just don't think people are still uniting together. I still think people in Norway are still at odds with one another. I just don't know if they're fully 100% agreeing with each other. I don't know if they're converging together. This is what you need to be, right? Because the obstacle is that you're not going into this, right? It's basically still that there's unrest, there's people that are angry, but they're not grouping, right? There needs to be a grouping of the Norwegian people. And it feels like there's still a lot of divides. There's still a lot of dividing. And I think that you were saying in the past, Gro, that you're having that problem with people. It's like people are just kind of stuck in their own worlds, and they're not really coming together. We're having a hard time just trying to group together. I'm getting that confirmation here from that reading right now. Okay. Strength and resources in that sense, like I said, is that through time, there will be people who will see the light. Okay. That's the good news. But it's going to take a little bit more time for Norway. Okay. People need to see, like, and this is basically the strategy that they have, is we will make things worse. We will try to give the idea that we're going to create this bonfire. This bonfire is going to put so much heat under you that you're going to have no choice but to stand up out of your seat and do something. Okay. Because that's what I'm seeing here when it comes to the potential outcome. There's going to be good things coming for Norway, but there's still certain things that are left kind of at unrest, right? So it's kind of like saying, hey, you guys are making progress, but this is what you still need to do, right? And I think the Norwegians are basically trying to grumble, again, so many different opinions, grumbling about what they feel they don't have, grumbling about what they feel they want, but they don't see what's ahead for Norway. Norway is indeed going through re-infrastructuring. They are indeed going through a greater outcome, okay? But people have to get behind it. It's just so many people want to just superimpose their face on top of their country, on top of the entire planet, getting what they want, when that's not the idea. It's about the collective, right? So for a little bit of a while, there's still going to be some shuffling back and forth. There's still going to be some disagreements. So I think Norway, it's probably going to need at least another year before there are some really big revolutions taking place. People of Norway just feel so divided. There's a major division of Norway right now. And it's going to just continue to heat up. Things need to happen. I think there needs to be some tragedy that takes place that's going to get people to stand up. Because, if we're talking about the good, sweet, rosy talk, putting on our rose-colored sunglasses and thinking, oh, everything's going to be great, everything's going to be great. No, people aren't on the same level. They're not on the same page. They're not even reading the same book. They need to be put together. They need to work. They need to be united through a common cause. And I think that'll be coming very soon for Norway. Okay. So Norway still has some growing up to do. Okay. And like I said, there's just way too many disgruntled people that are so adamant about trying to get what they want rather than seeing exactly what's happening to the country. Okay. So that's what I'm getting, bro. Like I said, I think you were talking to me about that a while ago, about the idea that just, people just aren't agreeing. I'm pushing, I'm trying to tell them these things, and people are just in their own world. Oh, they're asleep. You're right. Right. And it's going to take something very intense to wake up those people, and that's coming. Okay. Thank you very much, Guru, for your question. All right, let's move on. I think that's it for the donation-based questions. So we're going to go up to the top here. Okay, let's take a look at Samar's question here. Samar says, question, can you do reading on Bitcoin for the rest of July? How about we do it for the summer? Okay, let's take a look at the entire summer. Let's look at July, August, September for Bitcoin. Okay, so just give me a minute as I shuffle. see what is ahead for Bitcoin, the momentum ahead for Bitcoin for July, August, and September, the summer season. Okay, because that's kind of our theme today, so why not, right? Okay, so let's see what we got here. Okay. I just don't know if you realize it, Samar, but Bitcoin is still very much a dark cult crypto. Okay. It's looking to change sides. Maybe it already is starting to change sides. But to me, it feels like the Bitcoin is still being used quite a bit with dark cult activity. Okay. I really would suggest that not be the coin that you go after. Okay. There's a lot better coins to go after. There's a lot better crypto to go into. Bitcoin is heavily infiltrated. Okay. So basically where it is right now, there's a lot of surprises. Like I said, it's going to gain momentum because, like I said, it has a lot of support in dark places at the same time. Okay. The good news is I think it is going to step over to another side, but as it runs currently, it's the obstacle here is basically that, in a way, this kind of tells me that it's still under a lot of control. It's under a lot of restriction. It's under a lot of shackles. Okay. This is just something to be made aware of, right? Like I said, there's a lot of momentum for Bitcoin, but like I said, a lot of it is under a control umbrella, right? It's very much under a control umbrella, and I really don't see a lot of potential with this coin much longer. I think it's either it's going to die a horrible death, or it's going to be replaced with something else. Okay. My advice was throw it away, right? If you have funds in Bitcoin right now, maybe transfer it to something else, right? Maybe XRP or something like that. Bitcoin has been under a lot of controversy. A lot of people have basically been very much critiquing it and saying this feels like it's something that's run by the dark cult. And you'd be right. It totally is. In the long run, I feel it's either going to be absolved or turned into something else. So I feel like the counter forces kind of have their grasp on it, but they still have to kind of play out certain things with the Bitcoin itself, right? So XRP would probably be a better option, for example, right? Rather than using Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is still very much a dark cult coin, okay? But like it's kind of in the works. It's kind of going through the midst of moving into overhaul. And I think in the future, probably down the next few months, it'll move into something much better. But right now, it's complete shit. So my recommendation would be get out of Bitcoin, right? Just basically if you have money in Bitcoin, get it out and move into something better. Bitcoin is, right now, it's corrupt, okay? So I don't think it'll be like that in the future, but right now, it's under a corrupt umbrella. Just be aware of that, okay? That's what I'm getting. It's still kind of in the middle of getting overhauled, getting turned into something better. Is it moving up in value? A little bit, but not majorly, right? Not very much. And like I said, there's more problems with Bitcoin than there are benefits, right? So like I said, I would say take it out, put it in something better, right? XRP would be a good idea. Okay. Thank you, Samar. Okay. So this one here is from Kamal. Now, I'm not looking at 5 years, guys, because I don't do 5-year readings. At most, we can probably look under a year, okay, pertaining to Punjab. Okay, can you do a reading for the state of Punjab, but not for 5 years? Let's see how things go between now and maybe the next year. Okay, 5 years, just so much changes that it's very unlikely that what I say will last for that 5 years, because everything is just in such a heavy state of flux right now. So this is why I usually tell people, guys, I don't look at anything anywhere past a year. That's it. Usually my comfort zone is like 6 months, but at the most I'll look at it for a year. Okay. But yes, we'll take a look at Punjab and see what's going on with Punjab right now. Okay. So I'm just looking at the momentum of it and seeing where it takes us. All right, let's take a look. Okay. So I'm seeing kind of a recurring pattern here with quite a few different countries. Okay. I've talked about this before. With many countries together, there's a common pattern. Okay. Where are you right now? You guys are in a good space. You guys are in a good space right now. Okay. There's something happening in Punjab, right? It may be the idea of people coming together. It may be the idea in that sense that you're taking action, because this is a wand, right? Ace of Wands indicating that there's action, there's fire, right? There's action taking place. There's energy on the move in that sense. So something is brewing that is actually favorable to the country of Punjab. Or so not the country of India, but the state of Punjab. Okay, the state of Punjab is moving forward in a very, very powerful way. Okay, Two of Swords, okay, represents the next step. So you're bringing balance to something that was destructive. So whatever you're seeing with Punjab, I think they're in good hands. I think they're starting to move forward in a very positive way, relating to, like I said, maybe it's a government overhaul, reinstitutionalizing a lot of different components, systems within Punjab. I think so far so good. The obstacle in that sense may just be emotional worry, emotional upset, emotional compromise, thinking that things aren't good when in fact it is. You're only looking at this, but you're missing the big picture, right? You look at something and you think it's so horrible, but you're missing all of this, and all of these other things are coming around you and telling you, hey, you know, you guys are actually making progress, right? You guys, you girls, you kids, you're making good progress, but you're too focused on this. You're looking at this, you're gazing at this. Oh, why is this happening? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? And you're missing everything else around you. Okay. And that's the obstacle. You're not seeing the big picture. You're seeing the forest for the trees. Okay. So the strength and resources, it feels like you may have some very good leadership coming together. I'm not too sure if you guys are going through an election or for what the leadership is in Punjab. I have not looked at it. Okay. But it feels like there is some very strong leadership that's coming together here. You guys have a strong resource. You have someone who feels like they may speak for you, or someone in that sense whose plans are in alignment with your own. Okay. When we go into the potential outcome of Punjab, okay, we're seeing shifts. Everything is kind of balancing itself out. There's synthesis happening right now. Okay. Punjab looks like it's in good hands when we're moving into the long-term future, which could be 6 months to a year. Okay, this is what I'm getting. You're moving up. Okay, you're shifting upwards. I think Punjab is going to have a very great rising to itself. I think it's going to raise up very, very well. I think that people are really going to get behind each other, and that feels, like I said, feels like revolution is already happening in Punjab. Okay, you guys really have nothing to be concerned about, but you need to broaden your view a little bit more. Okay, you're too transfixed on ideas. You're making mountains out of molehills. You're straining a gnat and swallowing a camel. Okay, so there needs to be a little bit more of a broader view of this, and maybe that needs to happen through certain events that will come for Punjab. But Punjab, I feel like, is on its way up. It's not on its way down. Okay, thank you, Kamal, for your question. Okay. Okay, let's see. Elena just says, I wish this webcast was oriented in time, signposts, and other general questions related to spiritual wisdom. Elena, that's why we have wisdom transmissions, right? I'm doing this particular broadcast because a lot of people that are on my channel really do care about current events, right? And I wanted to make a webcast that was just basically for that reason, okay? We'll still have, again, like you see how I do this, right? I bring in certain forms of questions, and a lot of the answers I give, guys, are about you going inside, okay? But there's a lot of subscribers on my YouTube channel that really would like me to do a lot more current event-based information. And that's why I've created the signposts, okay? Signposts certainly does have that spiritual wisdom because that's what I'm all about. But at the same time, it's helping people out with current events, okay? This is a current events broadcast. That's what this is all about. Wednesdays are pretty much anything goes, right? That's the universal wisdom. That's where Adronis comes in, right? So I do my best to balance it, guys. I'm not here to appease one of you, okay? I'm here to work together with the many of you. And there are many of you who want me to continue to do these current event broadcasts because you guys like what you hear, obviously, with what I'm sharing. But at the same time, I'm also doing my spiritual work, and that's really what Wisdom Transmissions Live is all about. So I do my best, guys. I can't appease one of you, okay? I can't appease few of you. I'm doing my best to work with the majority of the subscribers on my channel, and that's why I have those 2 specific webcasts. Then I have the AetherX Live webcast on Fridays, and we do healing work, okay? So I'm doing my best, guys, to balance out what the majority wants on my channel, okay? Please see it in that way, because that's where I'm coming from. All right. Thank you, Alina. All right, let's go to Desiree. Desiree basically wants me to look at Sweden. Okay, so we're getting all these countries again. We're looking at all these countries, seeing how they're doing, and that's fine. We can definitely look at that. I've looked at Sweden before multiple times. Okay, I think it's been a while, but we'll take a look and see how things are going for Sweden. Okay. But that's the answer to all the countries, my friends, is that people need to come together. This is all about the true spiritual message. It's unity, right? It's coming together. It's standing together. It's working together, right? That is what my message has always been. Whether you call it spiritual or whether you call it common sense, it doesn't matter. That's the answer to the liberation of every single country on this planet, right? All right, let's take a look and see what Desiree has, or Desiree's question here about the momentum for Sweden. Okay. Okay, so just as you guys know, for the Swedish, okay, you still have a lot of dark cult energy in your country. Okay, it's going to be changing. That's the good news. But there's still kind of like a hill to climb. Okay, it's not a big mountain to climb. It's a hill to climb. Okay, where are you right now? It looks like the people of Sweden are coming together. Okay, they're emotionally coming together. Okay, I think there's still maybe a need where they need to physically come together. Right, they need to physically stand together. But emotion-wise, you're standing together. Okay. What's the next step? I feel like there's a tragedy ahead for Sweden. Okay. This may relate to the major event that I was talking about through the Eastern world. There's some type of tragedy that's happening that may hit Sweden hard. Sweden may be involved with it in a certain way. Okay. So there's some sort of major event that is going to hit. And like I said, I do feel it is a counterforce, / cabal type agenda that's taking place, because this is the obstacle. Okay, the obstacle is the dark cult. Okay, Sweden is still very much under the guise of the dark cult. Like I said, it may be a counterforce agenda, but nonetheless, Sweden is still under the shackles of them. Okay, strength and resources. Well, this is the whole idea. Like I said, is knowledge, right? This is, again, looking at the wand, and this is the idea of people coming together, right? Guys, it's the same answer every single time. What do? You come together. What do? You work together. What do? You speak together. You join together. You come together, right? That's the answer. When people are completely united in the same feeling, and they're showing it, anything pertaining to a suppressive government isn't going to do anything. They can't. The people will not budge, and they need the people as they see them as resources. And if those resources aren't going to do anything they want, they're finished. That's how easy this is. The challenge is trying to get people to see it, right? The potential outcome, the good news, is that Sweden is going to overthrow all of it. Okay. So there's going to be an overthrowing that's going to take place. The potential outcome is that, like I said, the Swedes will come together. Okay, and this is a time of celebration. Like I said, this is revolution. Revolution is the answer to all of these things. The future, we could basically look at, like I said, the next 6 to 12 months, because the potential outcome could be quite a while. Not saying it's right away. It could be a while, but in the meantime, leading into the near future to the long-term future, is you need to break the veils of deception. You need to break the veils of illusion. You need to stop thinking that you're ingesting all these lies that you're being told. You need to break through it. You need to look at the truth. You need to listen to your heart. You need to come into your center. You need to, again, kind of ignite that fire within you and work together with the people that are in alignment with you. Okay? There's my spiritual message that I've been sharing with every single country that there is, right? It's the same answer. But like I said, many different countries, through patterns, relatively, are going through similar encounters. They're going through similar events. But the resolution is the same. It's the same thing. Like, Brad, what was it? Is there something else we can do besides unifying together? No, because that's what's got you into this muck in the first place. Okay, you cannot expect to feel like all of this is just going to go away while all of you are in separation consciousness. Okay, it doesn't work that way. You have to come together. You have to come united. That's what this is all about. This is the coming of age ceremony, right? And you look into your heart, you will feel that. It's not just coming from me. That's what this is all about. It's about coming together, right? All right, there's Desiree, thank you very much for your question. Okay. This one here is from Reba. Reba says, hi, Brad. Please, could you take a look at the UK? Our latest Prime Minister has advised the use of weapons against R. Are we going to be pulled into something? Okay, are you using the weapons against R? I'm trying to give an idea of what that represents, but nonetheless, we're just going to kind of look into the momentum ahead for UK. Okay, so just take a look at the United Kingdom and what it's going through. All right, what's ahead for you? Okay. That's really just the simplicity of the question. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the UK, what is ahead for the UK. Yeah, I think you guys are playing out a psyop, really. Okay. Okay, because what I'm getting for the UK is it doesn't look like this is legitimate. This is not a legitimate threat or anything of that nature. It's something that's planned through the script. Okay. So where are you right now? Like I said, you're being distracted by something while something else is happening behind you. Okay. So like I said, there's the idea of focus on this, get them on this while we tinker around back here. Okay. So to me, it feels like there is a psyop that's about to happen. For the UK, a very big agenda. Like I said, there's going to be, it'll lead to an outcome that will be positive, but at the same time, it can be very destructive at the same time. There is some type of major event brewing in the Eastern world that is going to affect many different countries. Whatever it may be, like I said, I can't really put my finger on it, but this is telling me that there is there's a psyop coming, right? And like I said, it's leading into something that's good, but it's not going to look so good, okay? And that's kind of what I feel like this major event, whatever it may be that's coming, that's going to happen somewhere in the East. My feeling is that it'll be in the East. It will not be in the West. West will certainly have its own events, but this feels like it's something that's Eastern. So whatever it is, it's going to look horrible. It's going to look dreadful, but at the same time, it's turning the wheel, okay? So is there an obstacle? Yes, there's basically an obstacle, but it's an obstacle, like I said, it's basically just agreeing with me here. It's going to turn the wheel. Whatever is going to happen pertaining to this major event, whether it's a war, whether it's a fight, whether it's a nation against another nation, whether it's the death of someone who has, again, a lot of quote-unquote authority or power, whatever it may be, it's leading into a grand revolution, okay? Just you got to keep pushing forward. We got to see exactly how these things together. The momentum of the event that takes place will cause other forms of events to push forward and lead into a better outcome, okay? And the potential outcome may represent, again, the change of leadership, but it also may represent the idea of a changing of a financial system, okay? This may be a push for a new financial system for all we know. So that is what I feel is happening with the UK. And for the long term, maybe the next 6 to 12 months, looks like unification. Looks like, again, coming together, right? People of the UK coming together, perhaps due to this tragedy that's coming. And I would basically refer to it as a psyop-based tragedy. It's not genuine in any means. It's something that's scripted. It's something that, again, is going to turn the karmic wheel, okay? So that's what I'm getting for the United Kingdom, all right? Thank you very much, Reba, for your question. So like I said, when they're talking about weaponization and using against maybe this country or something like that nature, like I said, that's all part of the plot plan. Okay, that to me, that feels like a script. And this is kind of what I'm feeling. I feel like there's going to be an unrest. There's probably going to be a feeling of a tension, a threat pertaining to war. But I don't think it'll lead to that. Like I said, I think it's just all part of the script that needs to happen so that the wheel can turn. Okay, that's just what I'm getting. And again, guys, all I'm sharing is my perspective, my point of view. Okay, for all knowledge, all information, all creation itself resides within your very hearts, beings, and souls. All right, let's go to Elmer. Elmer here says, Brad, Kyushu in Japan, please, thanks. Okay, I will consider that. I'd really kind of like to look at Japan as a whole right now. Okay, maybe if I have time, I'll take a look at Kyushu very quickly. Okay, but I'd like to look at Japan as a whole right now. Japan is kind of in a bullseye right now. And I want to kind of take a look at that because that was something I was reminding myself. Let me take a look at Japan before I finish the webcast today. Japan is in crosshairs. Japan is in a bullseye. And Japan has always been bullied by the dark cults, right? And I feel like maybe they're trying to be bullied to cough up more money for the dark cultists. And if they don't, there's another weapon that's going to be released, okay? So I just want to find out what the momentum ahead right now is for Japan, okay? And then if we have time, we'll go into Kyushu. All right, one moment. Okay, something is going to hit Japan. Okay, I can't say exactly what that is, but it is something from the dark cult. Okay, it is almost like 2011 with Fukushima. I don't know if it'll be that intense, but this is for the people of Japan right now. Please get yourselves prepared. Okay, it looks like probably very much in the next couple of weeks, could be for the next few weeks in that sense, something may hit Japan. Okay, I'm not too sure if it's a terrorist attack. I'm not too sure if it's another earthquake weapon, if it's a volcano. Okay, whatever it may be, something is looking to hit. But like I said, this is where we send love. This is where we send energy to the country of Japan. And this is what helps to cushion everything. Okay, like I said, I will be talking to a group in Japan here on Friday about this. But yes, it feels like there is something ahead for Japan. Okay, where are you right now? There's a lot of support and there's a lot of help. That's the good news, right? Japan has a lot of support of the light. The light is very strong in Japan. So I think whatever is going to happen, I don't think it'll be a devastating blow, but it'll be something that people will recognize, that people will get pretty scared of, okay? This is kind of telling me go to higher ground, move where you are. So Japan basically feel like there is a state of emergency taking place to Japan, whether it's an earthquake, whether it's a tsunami, whether it's a volcano, whether it's a combination of the three. It looks like Japan is going to get hit with something very hard, okay? Again, I don't know if it'll be super devastating. I don't feel that because of this card, right? There's a lot of cushioning there, okay? But there is, there's just that feeling of move to higher grounds, right? Have a backup plan, have something with you that you can move into, right? So maybe it's moving to higher ground, literally. Maybe it's moving off Japan for a little bit of time, maybe going somewhere onto the mainland or something of that nature, okay? Just get yourself prepared because what's the obstacle? There is an earth change coming, okay? There is an earth shift that's coming. This almost feels like an earthquake to me, but I can't put my hat on that completely. If it's either a volcano or it's a tsunami or something like that, something is going to hit Japan, okay? So I'm giving you guys a warning right now. Please get yourselves prepared. Okay, I don't know exactly where this is going to hit. I don't know exactly where it's going to take place, but this is a warning call system for Japan. There's another astrologer by the name of Joni Petrie. She was also warning about Japan as well, too, that something big astrologically is about to hit Japan. I'm completely in agreement with her, okay? Because I'm saying that through the cards right now. Not so much because she's saying this, but I always look into these things. I always verify things myself, and I'm getting that verification right now, okay? So most importantly, you guys have each other, right? You have each other's backs. You are wonderful people. I've been to Japan many times. I love the people there, right? It is a beautiful, beautiful country. I love Tokyo. Tokyo is great, right? Had wonderful experiences in Japan. There are wonderful people there. And please make sure you're keeping yourself safe, all right? Put your intentions out, lead some guided meditations, buffer the entire island of Japan with light, okay? I've already sent a previous healing to Japan with the group that I'm speaking of, and I'll probably be doing that on Friday as well too. So what I could suggest right now is for everybody that's watching, please give your love and thoughts and blessings to Japan. Something is about to happen to Japan, okay? The good news is that you guys will get through it. You're going to get through it, okay? It's going to be a big shift, and this is really what this is telling me as well too. You guys are going to get through it. It's going to be, you're got each other's backs. That's the thing, right? You're going to be able to rebuild with whatever damage is there. Japan will move on. They will continue onwards. But this is a dark cult attack, okay? And do you know why? And there you go. There's the near future, okay? This is completely and totally created by a dark cult. The dark cult have been bullies to Japan because Japan has refused to play their games, okay? So that is the wonderful thing that Japan has. Japan basically is actually moving much more into the light, okay? So David of S.H.I.E.L.D., when you're saying Japan also has a dark side going on, you're correct, somewhat correct to that. But they have actually resisted a lot of the dark cult for a long time. And that's why they've been in the crosshairs. That's why they've been in the bullseye. That's exactly why Fukushima happened, right? Fukushima was a dark cult attack using a miniature nuclear device weapon to basically rupture Fukushima, causing all kinds of radiation, okay? Not a natural thing by any means. That is exactly what's happening right now, is that they are going to set their crosshairs on Japan. Japan doesn't give them what they want. Boom, okay? And they're not going to get what they want. So that's basically how it is. And they basically have been turned down and said no, okay? So even though there is a dark cult attack here, this still relates to the idea that Japan is strong and it will rebuild itself. And I think that there's going to be a lot more alliances taking place in Japan because of this attack, okay? But there is an impending attack on Japan. I'm just giving you guys a warning because I think there's other people as well too online that are giving you guys a warning. Please seek higher ground. Please have a backup plan. Please have plenty of food and water available, okay? Something is going to happen to Japan. I think it's going to happen here probably in the next few weeks, okay? So please get yourselves together. We are running out of time, Elmer, so unfortunately I can't get into Kyushu this time. Next time, okay? But this is just for overall all of Japan together. Okay, guys, we are out of time right now. I do have to wrap up. Thank you, everybody, for joining me on the Signposts today. I will be back next week, next Thursday, for another episode. Again, as well, next Wednesday with Wisdom Transmissions Live, where, again, the questions there are universal. We do really focus on a spiritual theme, of course, because that's when I bring Adronis in. But again, you can join me tomorrow on AetherX. Like I said, that is going to be happening tomorrow at 8 a.m. So again, the YouTube channel is youtube.com/@AetherX store. Okay, and it's a healing webcast. Okay, so AetherX healing webcast. I will be doing a giveaway at the same time, and there will be a lot of healing available as well too for either you or for someone you know that you feel could use it. And we may also have some time for Japan tomorrow as well too, because I would like to do a healing meditation on Japan at the same time. Okay, thank you guys. Blessings to you all, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow. Be well. Blessings to you all. Just take care of each other. Work with each other. Send that love. This is what the world needs most right now. Blessings to you all. Take care, and bye for now.